Hey, and welcome to the Ingles table. I'm Smokin' Joe Lasher, and I'm excited to team up with Powerful Pairings to bring you a delicious recipe today. I'm going to show you how to make my ancho pork tenderloin with black beans. I got everything I need from my local Ingles, so let's get started. And we're going to talk about powerful pairings in this pork and these black beans, are also known as pulses, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later. So what I've done is I've gone to the Ingles meat department and I picked up a plain pork tenderloin. You can find them from various companies they have there. This one is no seasoning, no oil or anything on it. I've pulled it out of the packaging, and you can see when it comes out, it comes with a little bit of sinew, or some people like to call that silver skin, and I like to take that off. It's not that it's such a distaste, it just kind of makes a beautiful tender piece of meat like the tenderloin. It could make it a little tougher, and really that's okay. Leaving a little bit of fat on there is okay. So we've got a nice piece of pork tenderloin. One of the things that I like to do is just trim the edge right here. Now we're not going to throw that away. That's a great little appetizer when you're doing grilled meat. But I like to kind of get that end off of there and shape it up. Now, what I've done is I've made a mixture, an ancho chili pork rub recipe that is online with this recipe. Blend, and look, we're gonna coat this pork tenderloin with this. We're gonna do this on the grill today. Outside, I've got a charcoal grill set up for indirect cooking, which I'll talk to you about that. You can also set up your gas grill that way, or you can preheat your oven to around 400 to 425 degrees. We're gonna sear this on the grill. If you're going to do this in your oven, you'd sear it in a pan on top of the oven. Sear simply means we're going to let it sit until it gets to room temperature, maybe 50 minutes or so if it's right out of the fridge. Let that seasoning set. Sear means that we're going to cook it over direct high heat, about 2 minutes per side. We're just going to kind of roll it, and then we're going to pull it over to the side of indirect heat or into the oven, and we're going to let that cook until an internal temperature of 145 degrees. So now that we've got this good and coated, I'm gonna set this aside, let it come up to room temperature, and then we're gonna take it to the grill. Okay, so here we are out at the grill. We've let this pork tenderloin sit for about an hour. It's come up to room temperature, which means that meat's gonna cook more evenly. And also, as you can see, these spices have had time to adhere to that pork, so they're not gonna fall off right when you put them onto the grill. So, as I said inside, we're gonna sear this first. So here's our direct heat side. So the first thing we're gonna do is put this down. 2 minutes, I'm gonna uncover it and flip it to the side, flip it to the side, flip it to the side. Once it's all been seared, we're gonna move it over here to this indirect side, and we're gonna let it cook to that internal temperature of 145. We're gonna put that bread on there and make a nice accompaniment with it. All right, so we're back in from the grill. We've got that pork tenderloin going. We're on the indirect side, coming to 145 degrees internal. Got a nice piece of flatbread on with it as well. So what we're gonna do is make a nice accompaniment of black beans and chorizo. Simply this, chorizo sausage is a Mexican sausage. I've got a hot skillet going right here. Usually when you buy this, it comes in or if you find it at Ingles Markets, it comes in a nice little casing. Just take that out of the casing. And we're gonna put that directly into the pan. You don't need to put any kind of oil or any butter or anything in with it. There's enough natural juices with this sausage that's gonna make it just pop with these beans. So once we're about 60% done, I'd say, started to brown up, doesn't take very long, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add in some onion. We got chopped yellow onion. We're gonna add in some red pepper, and we're gonna add in a couple of tablespoons of minced garlic. We're gonna stir all of that in, and by the time these onions start to become translucent and soften up just a bit, the rest of that chorizo is gonna be all the way done. And then we'll add our black beans. Okay, so our onions are translucent. This sausage is browned all the way. Let's go ahead and add these black beans into the mix. And you can tell this is real time, really a very quick dish to put together. Quick and tasty. So we're gonna mix in these black beans here. I've got one more ingredient. This is basically some salt, pepper, and some cumin, which gives it that flavor that we like to have with our black beans and chorizo sausage. I'm gonna cut the heat way down because you really don't have to. We've already cooked these beans once, They have been refrigerated, so we're gonna let the heat get to them, and then it wouldn't be this dish without some fresh chopped cilantro. Add that in. We're gonna keep some out to the side because we're gonna garnish a whole dish with this. But guys, that is basically it. According to my handy dandy monitor, our pork tenderloin is about 125 degrees. We're gonna give it just a few more minutes. We'll pull that in, slice it, and plate it with our chorizo black beans. All right, so we have just come in from the grill. My little alarm went off. We were at 140. I'm gonna let it rest for about 10 minutes, pulled it up, double checked. 146 was our final temperature. We're going to take this and I'm gonna slice it right in the center, and we're gonna take a look at this pork tenderloin. And that is a nice, look at those juices come out of there. That is an amazing piece of pork. Those spices adhered to it so nicely. We're gonna slice it just like so. Oh man, look at those. We've got our black beans and chorizo. Let's just put a bed of that down right here, just like so. With our grilled flatbread, take these slices, place them right onto there just like that. And it wouldn't be complete without some fresh cilantro across the top. And there you go. Thank you for joining me today at the Ingles table. We proudly partnered with Powerful Pairings on some delicious recipes. Be sure to check out the website for more, and I'll see you next time.